The original Destiny was groundbreaking. Not only was it one of the most expensive titles ever produced, it was the most successful launch ever for a new gaming franchise. Now, 3 years since Destiny first entered our lives, we're ready for a full upgrade. So re-equip your hand cannons, charge your super, and let's give the Red Legion a little bit of the old what for. I'm Jacob with the leaderboard, and we're counting down 107 facts about Destiny 2. And before we get started, a big thank you to Twitch streamers Chris G 2003 BT, RockyWrecks, Dr. Lupo, and Ninja with no L for letting us use their footage. Now, let's get started. Destiny 2 was published by Activision as part of an ongoing agreement between them and Bungie that began in 2010, a deal which effectively ended Bungie's previous exclusivity to Xbox platforms. While Bungie is responsible for the development of Destiny 2 on consoles, they have partnered with Vicarious Visions to bring the title to the PC. While Destiny 2 is available for purchase on PC in multiple places, players must access it through Blizzard's Battle.net client for online play. This is the first non-Blizzard developed game to be on the service. Destiny 2 was leaked by an Italian retailer when images of the official poster were put online on March 23, 2017, before its official announcement by Bungie on March 30th. Originally, Destiny 2 was scheduled for a 2016 release, but was pushed back until 2017 in order to add in new content as well as revise gameplay elements from the original game. Destiny 2 aims to be a clean jumping-off point for gamers who may not have played the original game. Veteran players get a fresh start and cannot bring their progress from Destiny 1 into the sequel. David Allen, one of the executive producers for Destiny 2, noted that the themes of loss and recovery are critical to the story. Players struggle with the loss of their abilities and comrades as well as the sweet loot from the first game. As players slowly regain that power, they'll have to bring their community back together to face the Red Legion. While Destiny 1's story was established through the Grimoire cards players unlocked by completing objectives, missions, and raids, the development team didn't want to repeat that for the sequel. Players can now experience the story through gameplay and won't have to dig through outside content to understand what's going on. Jason Harris, senior narrative lead, and Matthew Ward, cinematic lead, quote, "Hope people complain about how much story the game has. That'd be the Reddit thread they'd like to read. Too much damn story." The game sports 4K resolution and an uncapped frame rate for PC, while the PS4 Pro will also support 4K resolution but have a 30 FPS cap. Mark Noseworthy, a project lead for Destiny 2, said that the reason for this is the inclusion of more AI, more enemies, and the physically simulated vehicles and characters in the environments would be too much for the console to handle during events with multiple players in the same area. PC players can enjoy custom keyboard mapping and full support for keyboard and mouse gameplay, an adjustable field of view, 21:9 monitor ratio support, and a full settings screen for PC players to further tweak things and optimize their experience. PS4 players, however, have access to certain exclusives that will not be available on other platforms until sometime in 2018. Those exclusives are as follows: a strike called Lake of Shadows, a ship called City Apex, an exotic weapon called Borealis, as well as an exclusive PvP map called Retribution. The development team considered adding new classes, but they saw that the fanbase had grown attached to the 3 main classes in the game. To keep the old classes fresh for the sequel, Bungie decided to add new subclasses for Warlocks, Hunters, and Titans. Titans of the Defender class were always wanted in Destiny 1, as the extremely powerful Ward of Dawn, also known affectionately as the Bubble, gave fire teams a moment of respite during firefights and boosted their defense or attack depending on the loadout the Titan had equipped. Originally, the team removed the Ward of Dawns from Titans in Destiny 2, but found that it was still needed, so the new Sentinel subclass for Titans have access to the powerful ability. Warlocks, on the other hand, lost the Sunsinger's trademark resurrection ability, Radiance. The team felt that most players always kept the ability waiting to time their resurrection when needed. This led to players constantly keeping their super bar filled, and according to Bungie, waiting is not gameplay. Warlocks now utilize the Dawnblade subclass, which has the Daybreak super ability. Players can wield a sword of fire and rain solar energy on their foes. The Blade Dancer subclass is sadly no more. Their arc is now funneled into the Arc Strider subclass, which trades the blade energy from their previous iteration for a staff made of the same stuff. Each of the subclasses now have different paths for players to take to determine what skills will be available. Each path has 4 abilities available. Players are not able to mix and match the abilities between the 2 paths, as the 4 nodes/abilities on the path were created to work in harmony. Many players felt that the original Destiny shipped unfinished and found that they could clear the original story missions within 6 to 18 hours. Bungie has noted that playtesters of Destiny 2 were hitting the level cap after 55 hours with additional story missions missions still left to complete. The name of the game, other than Destiny 2, is replayability, and Bungie tried to address the lack of content that players had issue with in the original title. By adding new PvE features such as adventures and lost sectors, Bungie believes that they gave players additional rewarding content that was more cost-effective for the team in terms of time and development. Adventures allow players to learn more about a destination and explore. Lost sectors provide a challenge for the Guardians to square off against and receive loot from. The development team has made sure that Destiny 2 has a fully functional in-game map. As you progress in an area, you can unlock fast travel points to get around. Gone are the days of coming in from orbit and spending 10 minutes getting to the area you need to be. Players no longer need to go into orbit to switch between zones. They can pull up the in-game map, pick a landing zone in an area, and go straight there. Flashpoint, not to be confused with the DC event featuring the Flash, is a new activity similar to Nightfall from the first game. There's a featured destination that has treasure maps and special enemies that appear. This single area changes weekly and allows players to earn some powerful gear. During these activities, players can use certain energy weapons to overcharge enemy shields, causing them to explode and deal damage to the area. Ensuring that your team has diverse weaponry is the key to completing these new challenges. Smith has said that they tried to unhide the fun in the game. With the first Destiny, many players took to Reddit to find out different aspects of the game, but the team would rather you find it in-game. You know, conveyance and all that. This led to the introduction of guided games to the series. While players had to find a full team to tackle nightfalls and raids in the original game, the team wanted to make it easier for casual players to join in on the fun. Most players of Destiny 1 took to Reddit or DestinyLFG.com to find members if their friends weren't available or didn't play the game. Guided games allow solo players to match up with clans in Destiny 2 that are looking to fill their spots to complete whatever challenges await them. This gives players incentive to join clans which were available in Destiny 1 but didn't really do anything gameplay-wise, with the exception of an achievement when completing a raid with clan members. Testing the water in this way gives every player a chance to get a taste of the endgame activities waiting for them. Clans also benefit players in other ways. If your clan completes a hard objective or activity, all players in the clan may receive an engram or an item just for being part of the clan. This will bring more players together and have them work harder to benefit themselves and their team. There are also benefits or rewards to helping solo players in guided games. While there was internal discussion about including Halo Reach-style spaceship battles, it was decided that they couldn't include it in Destiny 2. Maybe they can revisit the idea in an expansion pack. As of now, ships are only going to be a cool loading screen trinket, according to Luke Smith. Luckily, players of the original Destiny will already be used to this. Destiny 2 locks loadouts for certain activities, such as the weekly Nightfall, and it applies to both gear and subclass abilities. Previously, you'd be able to change your loadout on the fly depending on what you encountered. Players now need to go in with a plan and execute it perfectly in classic raid style if they want to complete these new challenges. In addition to the loadout locks, a Nightfall timer has been added to the activity. This prevents players from hiding to slowly grind a boss down, as many players did in the original Destiny. The Crucible, Destiny's PvP arena, does not have private matches upon launch, but hopefully that'll change very quickly. While the lack of private matches did make us sad, the Crucible did have new changes that shook up the game mode. Teams are now limited from 6v6 to a more concentrated 4v4. The mode was changed to 4v4 to focus on creating pillars for PvP, which are teamwork, consistency, and competition. Lars Bakken, the design lead for the Crucible in Destiny 2, believes that this allows new and old Crucible players to have a more welcoming, consistent, and learnable experience. Control mode has undergone drastic changes as well. Teams can now start with 1 point captured each, as opposed to all of the points being neutral. Destiny 1's control mode forced players to uncapture a point before their team could fully capture it, but that has also changed. Guardians on the point immediately begin capturing the point without having to make it neutral first. Also, capture speed is now static, so having additional team members on the point with you won't speed up the process anymore. In an effort to speed the mode further, control matches now have an 8-minute time limit. This should allow players to get more games in at a faster rate than Destiny 1. There is one new Crucible mode called Countdown. This mode has Guardians switch between attack and defense as they attempt to plant or disarm a bomb. Like the Crucible in Destiny 1, games still utilize a peer-to-peer connection for the multiplayer mode, but physics calculations are handled server-side. This should limit the hiccups where certain shots don't land or the player has a weird physical interaction with the environment. Sound design is important to the team, so they gave the Crucible its own unique audio mix to differentiate it from the PvE sides of the game. Every sound in the game has been compartmentalized in this mix to either be friendly or enemy. As your teammates activate abilities and utilize their weapons, you can hear it, but it won't draw your attention. When your enemies do the same, that sound will be on the forefront and you'll know exactly what's going on. While many players have come to treasure their collection of weapons and gear from Destiny 1, the only thing that can be transferred to Destiny 2 is their character's personalization. This only occurs if the character has hit level 20 and finished the Black Garden mission from vanilla Destiny. Players who have completed certain objectives in Destiny 1 can obtain emblems items in Destiny 2. These vary from completing certain raids to obtaining a certain grimoire score. A certain number of them were only available until August 1st, so if you missed them, it's too late. You won't be able to get them now. In the first game, weapons were divided into primary, secondary, and heavy categories. The sequel, on the other hand, has the different categories of kinetic, energy, and power weapons. Kinetic weapons are run-of-the-mill guns. Scout rifles, hand cannons, auto rifles, and more are also in this category. Energy weapons are now any weapon that has an elemental damage type tied to it. This includes hand cannons, sidearms, auto rifles, and various other types. This allows players to have their loadout match their favorite weapon types, as you can now utilize a kinetic auto rifle but also have an elemental auto rifle to swap to when you need to take down an enemy shield. Power weapons are what your Guardian wields when they need to do some serious damage. Shotguns, fusion rifles, sniper rifles, rocket launchers, and the all-new grenade launchers compose this category. One of the main features of Destiny 1 was the random rolls equipment received and trying to find that perfect loadout for it. This led to players grinding and repeating certain missions, quests, and raids to get what they needed. That is no longer the case in Destiny 2, as random rolls for weapons have been removed. Stats and perks for all weapons were handcrafted by the team at Bungie. This allows them to track the data for all weapons, as there are no RNG elements involved. The lack of RNG also makes balance changes much simpler, since all that needed tweaking are stats and not entire weapon categories. During the worldwide reveal trailer, Rally the Troops, Cayde 6 forgets Dominus Gall's name, and while speaking to other Guardians refers to him as Gary or Glenn? I don't know, it's something with a G. Luke Smith felt that this was disrespectful to Gall's character and wanted it to be a little more serious, but later decided the line was fun enough to keep. Neil Kaplan, a voice actor known for his roles in Naruto, World of Warcraft, Cataclysm, and Star Wars The Old Republic, faces down Guardians as the voice of Dominus Gall. Zavala has an important role in the story for Destiny 2. Hopefully all of the times he spent dying and being reborn are put to good use. Zavala is again voiced by Lance Reddick, who you may remember from The Wire or Fringe. Destiny 1 players know that the Darkness was the big bad of the series, with all the different enemy types being designated Minions of the Darkness. Bungie has now distanced themselves from the Darkness, as it is not featured at all in Destiny 2. The team didn't even have a specific definition of what the Darkness was. With the removal of the term from the new game, they focused instead on the light and being chosen by it. Fans of the Exo Stranger from Destiny 1 might be disappointed. Luke Smith said that they effectively exited the character. The first two expansions for Destiny 2 feature fan-favorite characters: Osiris, the Warlock Recluse, and Rasputin, the Warmind AI. Destiny 2 leads players to new destinations. While on Earth in Destiny 1, Guardians were limited to an area dubbed Old Russia and were unable to explore elsewhere. The first new area of Destiny 2 is the EDZ, or the European Dead Zone. Titan, a moon of Saturn, is another area for Guardians to explore. The entire map is covered by an ocean, so players need to navigate the various man-made platforms to locate Commander Zavala, who returned to Titan after the overwhelming defeat he suffered from the Red Legion. A Titan recovering on Titan. It's almost poetic, isn't it? Ikora Rey, the Vanguard Warlock, can be found on Io, a moon of Jupiter. The sulfuric yellow moon is a cornerstone to Destiny 2's story, as this was the last location the Traveler was present at and empowered before it came to Earth. Guardians explore the light-touched world and try to decipher the mysteries of the Traveler. Finally, the Guardians land on Nessus, a Vex-occupied world with vegetation currently fighting against the machines to try to find and rescue Cayde 6. I mean, obviously he can handle it on his own, but he's letting you be the hero this time. At least that's what he's probably telling himself. The farm is the spot where you'll change loadouts and pick up new quests. You'll find vendors here and learn more details about the story. Plus, there will be time-wasting distractions like a soccer field. Oh, and chickens. Get ready to chase some chickens. Hopefully they're not like Zelda chickens. David Deej Dog, the community manager for Bungie, confirmed that the Cabal and its Red Legion were given the spotlight in this title after being underused in Destiny 1. Guardians have only run into a few different scouting parties, but they won't be ready for the Legion. The Destiny 2 beta for consoles ran from July 18th to July 25th. Only PS4 players who pre-ordered the game were allowed access on the 18th, Xbox One players who pre-ordered the title were admitted on the 19th, and it opened to the public on the 21st. The beta was originally intended to end on the 23rd, but Bungie extended the test by 2 days to continue testing the server. After the testing was completed, Bungie used the data to fix multiple glitches that were found during the gameplay and also fixed matchmaking for the quick play and competitive versions of the Crucible. While it was originally reported that the PC version of the game won't have recoil because the recoil gives the console version a different good feeling, that decision was changed and the PC version now has a recoil that is suited to mouse and keyboard. Bungie has no plans to make the game cross-platform, so you and your friends need to be on the same console or on PC to group together. So if your friend is a stubborn type who just won't buy a PC, you're gonna have to either shell out the money to get them one or, you know, find new friends. Such is life. There are a couple of different vehicle options for Guardians to man during the campaign. A few of them were featured in the trailer for the game if you look closely. The Destiny 2 beta had less content for players to explore as Bungie wanted to keep the campaign a surprise and to prevent people repetitively speedrunning sections already featured in the beta upon release. During the initial story mission in the beta, there's a part where your Guardian needs to dodge two giant spinning turbines in order to progress. One is spinning clockwise while the other is spinning counterclockwise, and they'll insta-kill you if you're touched. When Luke Smith played this portion of the beta, he realized that in the launch version of the game there's only one turbine spinning. This portion of the quest had already been nerfed before countless Guardians tested it in the beta. The first raid in Destiny 2 is said to be a place that, quote, you believe is real. Considering that Luke Smith mentioned this during an E3 interview and then proceeded to grin and giggle, I'm not sure how comfortable I am with a raid that I believe is real. What if there are spiders? Why? I hate spiders. Why does every game have spiders? And they're giant. They're always giant too. It's always giant spiders. There's no ranked PvP in the game, but it has not been confirmed if it would be an option in the future. Hold on to your hope, Guardians, and maybe you'll be able to show Lord Shaxx and the rest of your peers just how good you are. Players of the beta voiced their concerns about the scarcity of power ammo in PvE. Luke Smith immediately confirmed that in the final version of the game, power ammo drops have been increased by having certain enemies always drop the ammunition. The strike available during the beta, the Inverted Spire, features a boss that was less of a bullet sponge and more along the lines of a mini raid boss, with multiple phase changes. Players also found in the beta that the stats from the original Destiny had been scrapped and replaced. The days of strength, discipline, and dexterity are gone, and they now have been replaced by defense, agility, and recovery. Defense, agility, and recovery were previously tied to the skill trees in Destiny 1, but because of that last fact, they've been completely removed from the skill tree in the new title. Destiny's in-game currency, Silver, appeared briefly on Steam before the release, but was quickly taken down. Community manager Deej confirmed on Twitter that Destiny 2 for the PC would only be through Blizzard and that Valve would be issuing refunds for players that purchased the currency while it was on Steam. I wonder what happened there. Sharp-eared players located an Easter egg that Bungie inserted in the beta. During the initial story mission, Homecoming, players found that if they stood near a certain door that led to where the lounge would be in the tower, they could hear a warped version of Hope for the Future. This song was the single released with vocals by Paul McCartney, which was critically panned after its release. Players of the original Destiny could go to the tower and play the music video in the lounge. Players who pre-ordered the game and gained access to the closed beta also received the Cold Heart exotic trace rifle early. All other players have to wait until December 5th to get a chance with the weapon. Savor the exclusivity, fellow Guardians. The Cold Heart exotic was shown for the first time during an interview at E3 2017. A real-life replica of the weapon was created, and WWE wrestler Paul White, aka The Big Show, was the one to show it off. While completing the story mission with each class of Guardian, players were able to gain access to 3 different exotic weapons. Hunters were able to use the Sunshot, Titans utilized Sweet Business, and Warlocks got to take the Risk Runner for a spin. The Sunshot is a solar hand cannon that uses explosive rounds and highlights the enemies it's targeting. If killed with the Sunshot, targets will explode and deal area of effect solar damage. The explosive potential is similar to Destiny 1's Icebreaker, which had to headshot an enemy to cause them to explode. The Sweet Business is an auto rifle with a large magazine that boosts the weapon's range and power as long as the trigger is held down. Fitting name, because when you use it, you're gonna be like, whoa, sweet. The Sweet Business will also automatically load ammo pickups into its magazine while firing. Expect to tear through your foes and look good while doing it using this weapon. Again, it's pretty sweet. The Risk Runner is an arc submachine gun that powers up if the user takes arc damage. While shooting enemies, the shots have a chance to become chain lightning and return ammo to the weapon. Think Zalo Supercell from Destiny the Taken King, but not limited to crowds. Warlocks can obtain an exotic chest piece that will allow them to stay in place in midair while aiming down the sights. This Warlock exotic would be the equivalent of the Warlock's Angel of Light ability from the original Destiny, but there were also rumors that the piece will speed up your grenade cooldown for each midair kill. It looks like you're going to be putting a target on yourself using this exotic, but the risk seems worth the reward. During E3's Destiny 2 footage, fans were able to spot a weapon dubbed the Dubious Volley being used by Guardians in a firefight. This weapon was familiar as it was originally supposed to appear in Destiny 1 as a reward during the Taken King. The weapon received this name because of the perks that were inside of the data files for the weapon. They were described as Dubious Ordnance, which would deliver a high-energy volley of explosive ordnance, and Dubious Munitions that would have kills from the volley add another round to the volley. Destiny 2 released released multiple versions of the game when it came out. Depending on what you want and how hardcore of a fan you are, there are plenty of options to choose from, such as the digital deluxe version, a physical limited edition, or the rare collector's edition. The limited edition of the game is only available at GameStop and includes the base game, the expansion pass, premium content, a legendary sword, emote, and Cabal-inspired emblem, a limited edition steelbook case, and a Cabal-themed collector's box with items and information on the Cabal threat. The hard-to-find collector's edition includes the items from the limited edition, but also has an exclusive Frontier bag and a Frontier kit, which has a solar panel USB charger with a built-in light, a paracord, and a solar blanket. Just like your Guardian, you'll be ready to venture out into the EDZ and survive. Anyone that pre-ordered the game at GameStop also received a limited edition Chibi Cade 6 figure, because who doesn't love adorable robots? Vivid Gamer customers in the UK were able to enter into a raffle that gave the winner admission to an event called Virgin Fiber X Destiny 2, the beta experience. Every day I wonder more and more why I don't live in the UK. This event was put together by Virgin Media, Activision, and Bungie to allow those customers to utilize Virgin's full-force fiber network and test the game at a secret location on July 17th and 18th, 2017. Virgin Fiber customers in the UK were also able to obtain an exclusive Sparrow, the Athena Victorious, via Virgin Fiber's website. Alright, that's it. Packing up. I'm moving to the UK! WWE wrestler The Big Show was interviewed by Activision since he's an avid player of the original Destiny. While he mained a hunter during his time in the first game, he's looking forward to changing up his main to explore the new story. Who knows, maybe you'll pair up with him for a strike. Similar to Destiny 1's team up with Red Bull when The Taken King was being released, Destiny 2 saw Bungie team up with Rockstar Energy drinks and Pop-Tarts for the release of the game. The promotion with Rockstar Energy drinks allowed players to unlock special gear with codes obtained from their cans. Players who purchased the Destiny-themed Pop-Tarts found experience boost codes in their boxes. There were also custom-designed collectible packs highlighting each Guardian subclass. Facebook recently released a case study on Activision's success marketing Destiny 2 via Facebook and Instagram. They found that the Destiny 2 campaign reached over 18.9 million users through the use of social media. And there you have it. Once again, I'm Jacob, and thanks for watching 107 Facts About Destiny 2. And thanks again to Twitch streamers Chris G 2003BT, RockyWrecks, Dr. Lupo, and Ninja with no L for letting us use their footage. Have you played Destiny 2 yet? Did we miss anything? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of our notification squad, and if you like getting more from your games, subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.